What is up, guys? This is On and Off Football, and this is the final injury report for the Green Bay Packers going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Lambeau Field at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Jeez. So yeah, guys, I didn't really want to make a video, if I'm going to be honest, on the Giants-Packers game after we lost. Not really a game I wanted to talk about. I went to the game. I was nervous. I told everybody it's not going to be an easy game, especially if we can't stop the run, which we didn't at all. But we're not here to talk about the Giants-Packers game. We're here to talk about probably the most important game of the season. Packers, Buccaneers, Lambeau Field. It's a must-win game for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, every game's a must-win game, but this is it. You lose, and chances are you get into the playoffs. There are no chances, let's be honest. If you can't beat the Bucs, that have one of the worst-ranked secondaries, I don't know. Even if you get into the playoffs, what are you going to do? You're just going to stand there, do nothing, be torn apart by the potential Dallas Cowboys, which are rolling right now at home. And especially if you're playing them at home, they're undefeated right now at home. So, interesting game this Sunday. Packers need to win it. But let's get into the injury report. Most importantly, Jaire Alexander, shoulder, limited practice all week. For the 5th time on the injury report, Jaire Alexander is questionable. I don't know what to think of this anymore. I really don't. He's been questionable for 5 weeks already. So I can't tell you if I think he's going to play or not, because I have no clue whatsoever at all. I don't know. I don't think so. We'll see if he plays. It's the shoulder injury. We don't know what's happening with him. He needs to play, especially against Tampa Bay, which have good weapons. They have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So we need him. We need Jaire. Jaire Alexander is a must. A.J. Dillon, thumb. He broke his thumb at the end of the Giants game on Monday. Did not practice on Wednesday. Did not practice on Thursday. Was a limited participant on Friday. He is listed as questionable for this game. If you ask me, I do not think he's going to play. It just depends on how he's going to be able to hold the ball. I mean, it's his carrying hand. He could easily fumble, especially with a big cat. It's hard. It's hard. It's going to be a game-time decision. I personally don't think he should play if Aaron Jones is a go. But who knows? Maybe he'll be limited, or maybe they won't play him at all. But I don't expect him to play. J.J. Niguari, toe. He's fine. He had a limited practice all week. He will play. Elton Jenkins looked weird. He had a shoulder injury since it's been 3 weeks already since he's popped up on the injury report with a shoulder injury. Because he had an ankle injury, now he has a shoulder injury. Limited practice on Wednesday. Didn't practice on Thursday, but I think that's just a veteran rest. And then he practiced on Friday. And he has no designation. He will play against the Bucs. Aaron Jones, once again, on the knee. But he did practice all week, like last week. Limited practice all week. He is a questionable for this game. He should be playing in this game. If he's not, I will be very surprised, honestly. Keyshawn Nixon. We all have our opinions about Keyshawn Nixon at this time. He is a great kick returner, but he has some interesting decisions he makes. I don't know. Quadricep, limited practice all week. He has no game designation. He will play. Jonathan Owens' knee. He will play. No game designation, limited all week. Jaden Reed. Very interesting because he was in a concussion protocol. Well, they put him in concussion protocol to see if he had a concussion. He came out with no concussion, but then he popped up with an ankle injury. Packers did not practice on Wednesday. Forgot to mention it was a walkthrough, and he was projected as a limited practice on Wednesday, but he did practice all week, Thursday and Friday. He had a practice. So he will play in this game. He is a very big playmaker. We need him. We need him for this game. Darnell Savage did not practice all week. I do not expect him to go, but he is questionable. TJ Slayton, quad, No game designation. Eric Stokes yet to be activated. He has until Monday to be activated. I can expect them to activate him tomorrow or 90 minutes before the game. But he is questionable for the game. He had a full practice all week. I think he will play. And hopefully he plays a good amount of snaps, like 10 to 15 at least. Quay Walker, shoulder, did not practice on Wednesday as projected, but he did practice on Thursday and Friday. Again, Wednesday it wasn't an actual practice, it was a walkthrough. So surprisingly, he did practice on Thursday and Friday. He practiced all week, which is really good. If we could get Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker on the field at the exact same time, we haven't had that for a very long time. These two need to be on the field together, and they could disrupt the run. They could disrupt the pass in the middle. They could do a lot together. It's a must-need duo. They're very good together. But he is questionable for the game, and I can see him playing, which is phenomenal. Christian Watson, hamstring, did not practice all week. He is doubtful, and it's good that we're keeping out of this game because we win this game, we will have him. I say we even sit him out next week, even if we win this game. I mean, we're playing the Panthers. They don't have the best anything, to be honest. They're not the best team in the NFL. They're the worst. But you never know. Christian Watson, doubtful. Don't expect him to play unless something happens. I highly doubt it. Dontavian Wicks, he said he had an effed up ankle. He did not practice on Wednesday projection, but he had a limited practice on Thursday and Friday, and he is questionable to go. So, a lot of questionables, but a lot of promising questionables. It looks like the people that are questionable, besides Darnell, are going to play, and A.J. Dillon. Depending on A.J. Dillon, I don't know. We'll see with A.J. Dillon. For the Bucs, however, they have a lot of people that are either a game-time decision, doubtful, or questionable. It's not looking good for the Bucs right now, honestly. On defense, especially. I mean, all these players are on defense, besides Chris Godwin. Carlton Davis, one of their best corners, has a groin injury, did not practice all week. He is out for this game. Jamel Dean, another one of their good corners, limited practice, projected on Wednesday, but he had a full practice all week. He is questionable for the game. Will Golston, one of their best defensive linemen, did not practice all week. He is out for this game. Chris Godwin did not practice on Thursday, practiced full Friday. He is questionable for this game. He has a knee injury, so who knows how that works. I mean, we never know with a knee injury. They could be held out, or they could be a game-time decision. I can expect him to be a game-time decision, and I expect him to play. Ryan Neal, safety, back. Did not practice all week. He is doubtful. Zach Triner, elbow, did not practice on Thursday, but had a full practice on Friday. He is questionable. Vita Vea, fingers crossed. He has a broken toe. Did not practice all week. He is doubtful. If the Packers are not having to play against Vita Vea, it's going to be a completely different scenario. He is literally their best player. He is their best player, and there's no doubt about it. Devin White, he is also one of their best players. He had a foot injury. He practiced all week. He is questionable. So Packers going against Tampa Bay in Lambeau Field with injuries on both sides. I mean, you never see this. You always see the Packers with more injuries, but the Bucs are probably going to have more people out than the Packers. I mean, you got Quay Walker probably going to play. Eric Stokes is probably going to play. Darnell might not play. Aaron Jones is probably going to play. Jair is going to play, maybe, hopefully. A.J. Dillon is probably not going to play. And Wicks is probably going to play. So, Packers are looking healthier, especially if Jair and Jones play. If they play, they're basically at full health. With Christian Watson, yeah. But we're basically what we were week 1 without Bakhtiari, obviously. But this is a team you need going into a playoff push. It's 0-0 every week. You got to win. You got to go 1-0. Then you got to reset. You got to go 1-0. It's 4 games. You got 4 games. You got one with Tampa Bay at Lambeau Field in December. You got a team that can't really defend the pass at all. They're only good in the red zone. They're 4th overall red zone, which is phenomenal. But when you look at their secondary, it's 28th ranked. I mean, that's terrible. Their run defense isn't any better than what we have. So, defense, horrible. I mean, besides their red zone defense, everything is not there. And the Packers have the 7th EPA in passing this year. So, you know, Packers, young weapons. Malik Heath is emerging out of nowhere. We expected him to do this. We expected this team to look better, even with young receivers. And they are developing. They're getting better. And especially at the right time, right place. You need this. This is what the Packers need. And they're not going against good opponents. They're really not. These are very winnable games. If they play the same way they played against the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Lions, they can win these last 4 games. They got Bucs at home, Panthers in Carolina. They got the Vikings, which right now, they have Nick Mullins starting for them. Nick Mullins isn't terrible, but he is not a quarterback that anybody wants to start over Josh Dobbs. Sorry. Josh Dobbs played horribly, but he's the only reason why the Vikings are even in the playoff race. So, crazy decision by the Vikings. But if we're playing against Nick Mullins, I have no worry. That is on New Year's Eve, so that's going to be a massive game. And then if you win those 3 games, you're 1 game out of the playoffs. If you win that game, you're in. You have the Bears at home. At home. Not at Soldier Field, at home. And that's probably the most winnable game out of the entire rest of the schedule. Packers. They just need to play better. I mean, the Giants game, yeah, they were still in it, and they played horribly. That shows something. They're playing terribly. Technically, on Monday, they played horribly on both sides of the ball. Horribly. I mean, Jordan Love, fumble. Jordan Love pick. Another fumble. That was on special teams. Defense, giving up 60 yards in 4 plays to win the game. I mean, this is what the Packers can't do if they want to win games. And the Packers, yet they were still 2 points behind. Packers need to stop giving the ball away. They are 2-6, now 3-6 when getting a turnover in a game. Keep the ball in your possession. You win these 4 games easily. Jordan Love's got to be more accurate. He's got to be consistent. He cannot throw ducks. If he throws ducks, it's going to be bad. It's going to be shootouts, and we don't want that. We want this Packers team to be dominant because we know they can be. The defense is what's holding the offense back at times. But offense can also hold the defense back. But now since the Packers are developing at the right time, right before the playoffs, it's promising. And then when you get to the playoffs, you have the Cowboys. And that's an interesting game either way. I don't see the Cowboys destroying us anyway. So, Packers, possible 4-game win streak. It's very possible. Packers, right now, they're sitting at like a 44-46% chance of making the playoffs. That goes up to 71. If they win on Sunday and the Rams lose, the Seahawks lose, and they need NFC teams to lose, but they don't even need teams to lose right now. They just need a win for. If they lose, then it's a different story. Then you need teams to lose. But they cannot afford a loss this week. That's 100%. So, Packers taking on the Bucs at Lambeau Field. Going to be a good game. Hopefully, Packers dominate. Hopefully, the Packers look like a completely different team that they were on Monday. Hopefully, they look like the team they were against the Chiefs and the Lions. Because I think the Lions was the best game they've had. That was the best game they've ever had. Defensively and offensively. But yeah, Packers. Need this win. It's going to be a tough one, no matter what, no matter who you play. Well, that was the injury report for Bucs Packers, the final injury report. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, go Pack, go.